All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou. We have a lot to get into on today's episode, including the NFL draft, which is just 48 hours away at this point. We've got some Facebook Q&A we're going to answer. We've got play of the week as always, but we're going to start with the usual. We're going to start with what's on your mind. So Lou, we'll start with you today. What's on your mind?
Really, I wanted to get a check-in with you guys on F1. I just want to see how you're feeling about the season so far. That's really been where my energy is. I've been thinking about selling some of my cards now that I feel I have too many F1 cards now. So I need to figure out what I'm trying to do with that. So I want to get a feel from you guys on drivers. I know Tyler's been finally watching a little bit. I know Ryan's been watching, obviously. So I just want to get a feel from you guys on how you're thinking about 2022 and beyond, really. Ryan?
I really enjoy it, obviously. I'm excited to see if Mercedes turns it around. I'm hoping that happens. I would love to see Lewis and George both compete towards, down the stretch. Lewis finishing, 14th last weekend. George top 4, and I think he's finished. I think I saw something the other day. I retweeted it. Said George has finished top 5 in all 4 races.
Yep, only driver to do so, or something like that.
Yeah, so George is doing well. I'm just so surprised by Lewis. As hard as this is to admit, Charles is, or Max is, I just think he's going to win again. I like Leclerc. I really want Leclerc to win. Leclerc or somebody on Mercedes at this point. But it looks like it's going to end up being Max. I just have this feeling that they're gonna pull away with it. But yeah, Miami's in
2 weeks.
10 days at this point. So
yep,
ready for that. But yeah, still focused.
Ty, you've been a new viewer.
Lewis Hamilton conceded.
He basically conceded. Yeah, he's 60 points off the lead or something. So he's definitely not winning this year. That's for sure. He's not wrong about that.
Yeah, so I feel good. To be in a weird way, it kind of makes me happy. I think over the next, when I see it, I don't know if Max is going to have just overall staying power. A lot of what we talked about in the beginning of the season. I'm excited because I think a couple other guys, it's not just this 2-man band is what I think the beginning of the season has shown. Yeah. And for me, that's exciting because I'm able to pick up on some new storylines and narratives as they're happening for everyone. I'm excited to go in 2 weeks and continue to just immerse in the whole scene of it all. I'm excited. It'll be my first race ever seeing it live. My Dane, I'm just a Magnussen guy. Danes are hot.
It's unbelievable how he's competing every week.
Danes are hot.
They are hot.
Denmark as a country is hot. And that's where I'm at. So I'm enjoying it. Copenhagen.
Oh, okay. I knew that.
Yep. And I'm 87. I say that with 87% confidence. It might be one of those things where there's a weird little small village that's named the capital, and then you just get buried in the comments. But you live with that. That's my answer to your F1 question.
Yeah, I agree. It's been a really interesting year. It's actually as a newer viewer, as a newer fan of the sport, it's been interesting. You have Yuki doing well, George is doing well, like Ryan was saying, Mags, people like Ricardo. Ricardo is struggling obviously, but Lando's even pushing his way back up now. It's been it feels like Charles versus Max for the championship, but in general it feels like there's some more movement up in the top 10 a lot, which is good.
Is this one of those things where it's a few years ago when you've got a lot of the young talent, you got Allen, you got Mahomes, you got some of these young guys coming out.
That's what I was getting at.
And then you got here comes touchdown Tom. At the end of the year, you're like, hey man, this guy just won't go away. And here comes Lewis and Mercedes storming back. Or is this one of those things Lewis is going to ride into the sunset and take his career and call it quits when it's all said and done this year?
Yeah, totally. And I just from a card perspective, right? It's been. I jump around in the Facebook group, I look on Twitter and Instagram, all that stuff. Every single driver has action on them. There's not a single driver other than Stroll, I would say probably, who where people are buying their cards, which is great, and I think that's good for the sport in general, where there's a lot of young guys who have a lot of fans, especially in the card world.
Definitely saw to Lance Stroll, first year Chrome South Sapphire Aqua HGA 9.5 or HGA 9 for, cost of shipping the other day.
You did?
Yeah, I mean, it was on bids. I don't remember what it sold for. I can try to find it, but it went I think it went for like $8.
Yeah, to be frank, I just don't know what to do about someone like Lance Shaw, who just has no future in the sport and is not going to be competing anytime soon.
He's just a sitting duck right now.
He's just a complete sitting duck. He crashes every week. He's the worst, probably the worst driver on the grid. Like, it's just not great.
Yeah.
Damn. Who's he racing for?
Aston Martin, I think. Pretty sure it's Aston Martin.
Do we have a reason why?
Why he's not good?
Why he's racing for them if he's not good?
Didn't he get in because of his dad?
I'm pretty sure it's a nepotism thing. F1 loves
It's a beautiful sport. That's what I was wondering. Like, there's a lot of. I mean, it's like pomp and circumstance. It's WWE.
It's all like, if your dad has enough money to run the team, you can get in the car.
We're good.
Whatever. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this week.
Yeah, Red said something to me the other day. She's, I don't know. I think we were watching the race. And she said something about like, did you know George Russell got in because his dad's really rich in like England or something? I'm like, that's how a lot of this sport is like a lot of these guys just have super, super well. It's not like a basketball. You just pick up a ball and play outside. Like it's an expensive sport, I'm sure.
To get your foot in the door, you have to like build a golf car, build a go-kart, which is not a cheap endeavor, I would imagine.
Because what do you mean for like just coming up?
The amateur stuff is like go-karts, and then they start to upgrade the car. They get into real cars little by little. But to get into a go-kart and drive a go-kart and build a go-kart is an expensive
endeavor
situation. It's not. Yeah, it's not picking up.
And even people that have the money are like, yeah, well, like my great nephew's cousin. Let's throw him in there.
Yeah, if you're an old rich guy in England, you're like, all right, well, I have my great-grandson or my grandson who likes to race versus this person who also likes to race but is good. I'm going to pick my grandson. Like, that's obvious.
Yeah.
All right, Ty, what's on your mind?
What's on my mind is this is always one of my favorite times of year, to be frank. I think as a sporting fan or as a degenerate, one may just say, the combo of NHL and NBA playoffs, the month of May just has a lot of every night action. Right now, there's 3 competitive NBA games on every night that are playoff. Then we got NHL coming off the back of that. Golf, warm weather, Champions League's on today. We might get City Liverpool Champions League final, which would be crazy. Liverpool's been sick. Divock Origi had an unbelievable weekend for Liverpool playing against Everton. And my Chris Kreider collection continues to grow. Just popped this bad boy open.
Let's go.
Pretty excited about that.
Is that from Ice?
That's that's Ice. That is BGS 9.5. 99 of 99. Pretty excited about that. And we opened up we got access to what is like a little pop-up space on Hudson for 1:37 p.m. We'll have a little shop there for the next 3 months. And so, that's what's on my mind. And I'm happy that you were able to join us this morning, Ryan. I know you had a lot of travel going on, and I appreciate you taking the time.
Absolutely.
Cannot do this show without you, Ryan.
Wouldn't miss it. But yeah, I would definitely just repeat what you said. I think the next, not only for playoffs, but especially for cards, like I think the next 6 to 8 weeks are going to be really interesting. I mean, you've got a lot of major. We've been talking about it for so long. It's finally coming, to fruition. Hopefully, knock on wood.
Yep.
With Prism Football, NT Football, Flawless, Optics, Select. Then you start getting into the new guys, right? The 2022 stuff, as we're going to talk about the draft here in 5 minutes. You're going to have some of their first stuff coming out here, like Prism Draft Picks, and then you'll start getting into some of the college Panini products before too long. So, yeah, I think it's going to be, that's all going to be fun as a football guy, and then you're going to get into, Ty, when does EPL season close? 4 weeks?
Yeah.
End of May, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you've got that. No, Select, Jay. So Jason asked in the chat, is Select and Prism coming out the same day? No, Select football got pushed back to June. I think it's June 23rd at the moment. Prism football is currently May 11th. Panini is much as they may be behind on that, they would never put 2 of the top 5 or 6 biggest releases on the same day.
So that cardboard connection thing was wrong.
It was just early, right? Panini just, when they put it out there, they're like, hey, this product's coming. When they start soliciting it from, distributors from it, they're like, hey, this product's coming out. And then they just adjust it accordingly.
Got
I
it.
think
So
the
it is
date I
not
saw
511.
No, it's like June 23rd, I think, is when I saw it.
Okay, but Prism first.
Yeah, Prism first,
Good.
May 11th. But you got, EPL closing here. Hockey playoffs are about to start. I think they start May 15th, May 14th. Basketball playoffs, and as those things come to a close, you'll be 30 days away from the national. So it's just, I think there's a lot of action happening right now, and I think that's exciting. So, good. It's gonna be a good couple months.
Fired up.
But NFL draft, probably honestly a top 5 sporting event for me of the year. Like, I grew up like watching all of the days of the NFL draft. I love it. I love college football. It's always been my favorite sport. Will be my favorite sport. So sitting down and watching, the 6th and 7th and 8th round guys getting picked, and watching Mr. Irrelevant getting selected when Chad Kelly's asleep on the couch as he gets picked by the Broncos.
That is an all-time moment, by the way. Kind of underrated.
Moment. Yeah, all-time moment. Gets picked, John Elway.
Knocked out.
Drafts him, just sleeping there, just knocked out, just lights out and away we go here, Chad Kelly.
Away we go.
Hate to see it. But yeah, NFL draft's coming up. So just wanted to, see what's on your guys' mind as Jets fans. I'm sure you guys will be picking in the top 10 next year as well. So I'm just not sure if you guys, care who you get this year, or if you're more focused on next year at this point.
Yeah, right. I mean, like, of your 14 teams, which ones are you most excited about for the draft? Like, your Bengals, your Browns, your Patriots, your Rams. Who else?
I can't even keep track. Yeah. Your Bo Jackson team.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
I'm excited for the draft. It's gonna be fun. There's a lot of action up front. Don't you think it's better? I'm not sure how much you paid attention to the draft. Don't you think that NFL draft is a more fun process when there's not like multiple QBs right at the top?
No, absolutely not.
You don't think you think it's less fun?
Yeah, as somebody that's invested in sports cards, like 5 quarterbacks in the first 13 picks is never a bad thing. I think what this will entail is just complete uncertainty. You just have no idea who's going to like. There's not a clear number 4 pick.
Yeah, I don't think there's a clear number 1 pick. I don't think there's a clear number 2 pick. Like it's pretty open.
Sure. Yep. Agreed. And I think that's fun. But yeah, just from a card perspective, right? Like, you look back, when's the last time we've had a really like not very good quarterback class? 15 is probably the first
15
example,
was the first shit that came to my mind.
But 13 is probably the more notable one. Like 15, you got Mariota, Winston, Todd Gurley, Cooper, David Johnson. Like, not very good. 13's got Barkley, Geno Smith, EJ Manuel. Like, ugh. I mean, the best guy from that class at this point is either DeAndre Hopkins or Travis Kelce.
Yeah, 15 is not even a good one because the first 2 picks are quarterbacks.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, just those guys didn't pan out. I mean, Winston's at least still playing.
So is Mariota.
Yeah, sure. Fair. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I mean, 13's got no real quarterbacks. You got DeAndre Hopkins, Le'Veon Bell, like I said, Kelce.
Yeah, I just think it's a more fun process as like a viewer and like a fan of the NFL. Like I think there's a lot of interesting prospects, so it's going to be like a fun night. I think it might be a long night too.
It might be what?
A long night.
I'm with Rye. Yeah, I just like I don't know. I'm looking at it. It looks like a lot of defensive guys, cornerbacks, line guys. Like Aiden Hutchinson is like, I don't know. Maybe for me, just like the exciting like player going up there up top. But yeah.
Shout out to somebody the other day that said Aiden Hutchinson was better than both of the Bosa brothers. My man Aiden Hutchinson, I saw that the other day, had 4.5 sacks in his first 3 years in college. I mean, just to compare him to the Bosa brothers or Chase Young is just ridiculous.
I mean, he's a good player.
Great player.
He's pretty good, right?
Absolutely.
So what are you talking about? Like they're all top.
He's like
tier.
a baby Bosa brother, I would say. That's like a fair assignment.
Cousin,
He ate the Big Ten alive last year. Like I don't really know what you're
1 year. I'm just like
it's probably
do it for 3.
not everyone can do that, right? Like,
I'm just so he's not better than the Bosa brothers.
I agree.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to get. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's coming from a Michigan fan too. That feels good. Appreciate
Georgia
you.
guy.
But he's a Georgia guy, yeah.
Been
The Bosa brothers are like, all right, get a grip.
yeah, I'm a little bit over the Bosa brothers.
They're dominant. So is Chase.
They're
Young.
definitely dominant. Have you heard the rumors about Chase Young getting traded on Thursday?
Why?
That would be wild.
There was a little bit of smoke around a Chase Young trade they want to go into the top 5. Wonder who has a top 5 pick available and is looking for.
Guardians are getting them out of there.
Nope, that's a baseball team.
Thank you, Jay. Micah Parsons is a better player than both the Bosa brothers.
Micah Parsons is a stud. I'm not sure he's better, but Micah Parsons is. I'd rather have Micah Parsons over Aiden Hutchinson. For sure. Micah Parsons. I picked him for defensive rookie of the year, Ty, so don't act like I was sleeping on Micah Parsons. He was supposed to be a Buckeye in the first place if he didn't get on the game day set in Columbus against Penn State, which is the silliest rule ever. My man got on game day set, and they didn't let any other recruits in there, so Ohio State had to stop recruiting him. He was crystal ball to Ohio State. He's supposed to be a Buckeye. Go back and look up the Micah Parsons. Yeah.
Okay, and Justin Fields was committed to Penn State too.
Brothers. Instead, he's not.
Yeah, I know, he's fourth better.
Grade. In fourth grade.
No, he was literally committed in the same way Michael Parsons was. So relax, guy. All right, your former coach that won national championships is going to end up in
Chill.
jail. Cool.
Chill on it, Herbs. Hate to see it.
Yeah, you do hate to see it. It's a ticking time bomb for y'all.
We're a Ryan Day school.
Yeah, I'm
that guy stinks too.
Yeah.
Come on.
Gosh.
Come on, man.
He is a loser.
Real quick, who's going number 1?
Hutch.
You think Hutch?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that, I think.
When you're the number 1, though, like pretty much the entire time from the minute the season ends until the draft process, and then the week before it becomes somebody else, that usually means you're the guy to begin with. You know?
I'm a big Hutch guy. I think he's a real player.
He's the highest floor, I think, of all the guys at the top, so that's why he goes number 1.
Who's the best wide receiver in the draft?
Chris Olave.
No,
Garrett Wilson. Yeah, not Chris
Garrett
Olave.
Wilson.
Chris Olave's not better than Jameson Williams.
Yeah.
I like Chris Olave a lot. He's going to be a star. Jameson
I like
Williams
Olave too. It's probably Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Jameson Williams.
I haven't watched enough tape on Drake London or know much about him to
people like that guy. Of course, I'm not a tape watcher either. I'm just saying, like, apparently Drake London is a very good player, big body.
Yeah, I just had never heard of him before 6 months ago.
That's fair. I would love to take Jameson Williams as a Jets fan, but I just don't foresee them doing that.
All right, so who come Thursday, right? Thursday night's over. It happens. NFL drafts happens. Who do the Jets take with their first 2 picks? What do the Jets do?
Kayvon Thibodeau at number 4. And I think they trade out of number 10. Okay. And then I don't know what happens after that, so it's hard to say.
They trade out.
Yes. I think someone trades in for one of the quarterbacks at number 10. We get out, go to like 15 to 20-ish and take somebody there.
Is 10 the first spot then, Lou? Because I was going to ask you both this. Is 10 the first spot you see a quarterback?
Before there'll be one before that.
2 in the top 10.
I think so.
I think the Jets keep it and take 2 skill players.
Like offensive guys?
Well, I guess I'm thinking corner. Like I definitely think they're taking a wide receiver at 10.
So one of the top 10 picks is a
playmaker. Yeah, it's a wide receiver, and it might be probably Wilson if he's there. He might be gone, but they need a young dude. Like after you see Burrow, it's not like they played together, but if you stick a fast, young, hungry wide receiver with Wilson, I think it's really important for the quarterback. Yep. You know, like even veterans, you can bring in good veterans, this, that, what have you, but there's just something with 2 young guys going out and being like, we got this. And yep. I've been devastated by those 2 Ohio State wide receivers for a good amount of time now to know that they are good and they have swag and they're young and hungry. And I'd like to see one of them on the Jets because Wilson can throw that ball deep. It'd be nice if we still maybe had a taste of Robbie Anderson, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. What about Debo, boys? Like, let's get focused on Debo. That's who's coming home.
You really think so?
No, I don't. I think DK might though.
That would be super cool. But even that, like, I'd almost want the younger rookie contract wide receiver.
That's a perspective to have.
Are you giving up a first, second, and third for Debo?
You're not. It wouldn't cost that, but I've said I would do 10, 38, and 69 for him.
Wow.
But I don't think it would cost that, but I would do that.
You're just looking for somebody that's like that explosive.
You just like my general perspective on the Jets is like you have 2 more years max with Zach that you have to decide if he's good or not. And if you're not going to give him all he needs, then it's not fair to him. So you might as well just go for it. Or you have to reset anyway.
You're going to build all these linemen for the next guy. And
who cares? Like you have to reset it anyway. So
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. How many QBs go in the first round?
3. Corral, Willis, Pickett.
I can't say that with confidence. I don't know.
You think 2?
I'm not sure. Who's the number 1 guy?
Malik Willis.
Oh, yeah, Malik Willis. You're right.
Were you going to say Kenny Pickett?
I was, yeah.
Yeah,
I think Malik Willis is the lone top 10 pick. I think
Ty's not a quarterback prospect ranking kind of guy.
Well, look, I've watched Kenny Pickett play.
No, that's like a real
Kenny Pickett screams like those tall white dudes that the Broncos were like drafting for a couple of years in a row. That's what I mean. Like, what are we talking about? Like, I've watched the guy. He can throw the biscuit. I don't see him coming. I view it as when you lose a lot of games in your college career, it's very hard to go on and win a ton of games in the NFL. Joe Burrow was a winner at the highest level. Big games, big moments, whole career. This guy Kenny Pickett's been bouncing around Pittsburgh.
I agree wholeheartedly. I saw something the other day. It was like, how does Georgia go from having the best defense like in the history of college football to people who are questioning their prospects? And it's like these guys, like everyone talks themselves out of these players who are just obviously good. And it makes no sense to me. Deshaun Watson, like example number 1.
Guy just won. Just won.
Yeah.
You put him on the field, he wins. And there's something to that, I think. And the mindset is very real. And I don't know, what was Pickett's college record?
Probably wasn't as good as it should have been. That's
like he played well, but he was 32-20.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
Yeah, but I mean, he played at Pittsburgh. Like Josh Allen played at Wyoming.
And what was his
Josh
record?
Allen went to like Texas or Ohio State or Alabama.
Yeah, I think going off of Ty's
Josh Allen was 16-11. Counterpoint in my face.
Josh Allen's a top 3 quarterback in the league.
I don't know about that, but
I agree with that take. I don't know. I never saw Josh Allen in college. I've watched Kenny Pickett. I would not. As a dude that jumped off the couch screaming when Christian Hackenberg got drafted and then saw what happened there.
One of the all-time videos. If I can find that, we should put it in the podcast.
Yeah, we should. Jay, we need that in there. I don't see. If I'm a franchise guy, I'm not.
Just to be very clear, Patrick Mahomes was 13-19 at Texas Tech.
All in my mouth. I'm not taking Kenny Pickett.
Burrow had this luxurious college career. Didn't start 3 years at Ohio State, graduated Ohio State, transferred to LSU, didn't do much his first year, and then won a national title in 1 year. I would
on the best college football team of all time.
What for sure, top 5 college football team of all time. Like can't argue that. Like that was a great team, but it's like I don't know. It just
still got to lead.
We'll see.
And when you get into the room in the NFL, everyone's got the best team of all time.
Sure. We'll see. Yeah, big day Thursday. I think you're gonna see some guys slide back a little bit. I was thinking about this. I was gonna say 4. I was like, yeah, man, it's gonna be more QBs. I don't think so. I think you're gonna see more skilled positions. It's not gonna be that exciting. I think you'll see a couple early in the second, but I think there's only gonna be 2 in the first round.
Yeah, see, I think that's more exciting as a viewing experience because it's just more of the other guys and it's more movement.
Yeah, I would rather see again
for cards. I get it.
Yeah, top 5 be QB, all-time defensive end. So
where was Josh Allen picked?
First round?
Too high.
I don't know.
I think he was like 8th or 9th. One of those.
Yeah, that sounds right. 8 sounds right.
Yeah.
Josh Allen was picked 7th.
I still think he sucks, but whatever. We'll figure it
That's
out later.
ridiculous. I hate the Bills, and he doesn't suck.
You hate the Bills?
Yeah.
Why?
As a Patriots fan, I hate the Bills and the Jets.
I hate
Bucks,
the
Bengals.
Steelers.
Like,
Yeah, Jay said, good heck of a throw in by Jay. He said Josh Allen was taken after Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, and Josh Rosen.
Tough.
You hate to see it. I mean, weren't there rumors coming around? I'm almost positive I remember seeing this. I remember where I was watching the draft that year. There were reports saying that the Browns were debating between Baker Mayfield and Josh Allen for the number 1 pick. That would be a real.
I thought it was Baker and Rosen they were debating.
No, I thought
it was. I think
no.
It was Baker and Rosen. I'm like 99. I was at the top of that draft waiting to see who they were going to take, so I knew who I was going to get. I'm almost positive it was Baker and Rosen. Because in my head, it was Sam or Josh for the Jets.
Shout out to the guy that
Lamar went after all them too.
Shout out to the guy on SB Nation on April 27th that said the Browns nailed it with Baker Mayfield.
Tough.
Tough.
Your guy.
I got something for y'all.
Was that you?
Man City plays Real Madrid today.
Okay.
Liverpool plays Villarreal tomorrow.
Okay.
In the 2 legs of the semifinals of the Champions League.
Yeah.
Who do we got?
No idea.
As a lifelong City fan,
Wow.
I think I'm going to go with City. And then I'm also going to go with Liverpool.
Nice.
They have that cool saying, right? They have that song.
Liverpool, you'll never walk alone.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, it's pretty electric.
That's like super electric.
It's the most electric. They sung it for Cristiano after his
Yeah, I saw.
child passed away. Ronaldo, like your heart's with us. You'll never walk alone.
Yeah, elite.
Super elite.
Speaking of elite, overtime elite.
Shout out.
Speaking of elite, overtime elite. Signing the number 1 kid in the class, Naasir Cunningham. And
I would love to hear what Tyler thinks about this.
I'm fired up for overtime elite. It makes sense to me.
2024 class, number 1 kid. Sounds like he's still keeping his college eligibility open, though.
Yeah, that's what you mentioned, Lou. You picked up on that.
Yeah, he's not taking $1 from them in salary or in whatever because he can take money through NIL and maintain his college eligibility, which I find interesting because isn't the point of going to overtime elite that you just play there for a year or 2 and then you just go to the league anyway? So what's the point of keeping your eligibility? But I guess keep your options open. It makes sense.
And I also don't know like what the difference is between taking a salary or deal from overtime elite and doing an NIL deal.
Like?
I saw somewhere it's like 115, 120, 130.
That's pretty good, actually. That's more than I thought.
It's pretty good. But like, what's the difference between doing an NIL deal and doing that?
I don't know. That's kind of
couldn't overtime just pay him $100,000 to be in the Tops product and call that his salary?
Yeah, or like wear overtime gear on the court or whatever. Like
yeah, and then it's like not.
So what do you guys think about overtime elite did a Tops Chrome product, right? There's a couple guys in there that are going to be, I would expect, lottery picks next year. I think there's
one guy who's going to be a top 10 pick in this draft, I think.
And I think there's a couple that's coming up in the next draft. Regardless, do you think those cards have like potential considering, they're going to have as soon as they come out, they'll have college basketball product. They'll have that they'll be in no uniforms, right? And they'll have regular cards. Are those cards, do they have long-term potential there?
I think I think a lot of the viability of those cards long-term has to do with the overtime brand. So the growth of overtime elite, the growth of their basketball league, I think is a big piece of how those cards are valuable over time. Like there's Trevor Lawrence autos from before he got drafted too, that in that top
Leaf
set.
All-American.
Leaf. I'm talking about Leaf. I'm talking about the Tops one. Like they're out there, right? And then it's just a matter of which of those has the strongest brand going forward, and those are the prices that go the highest. So I think a lot of it has to do with the overtime brand. But I do think like Topps Chrome, the first auto this kid ever signs in his life, is going to be on that card. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and I mean the Trevor Lawrence Leaf All-American autos do pretty well. Like those aren't cheap. Those are I think some of the nicer ones are 4 figures.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I agree with Lou. It just if overtime is around and continues to grow and that brand and that presence gets bigger, I definitely think the cards have potential. I don't know enough about it at the moment, like in terms of like the league and some of the players, so can't comment too much on it. But
Yeah, like where do they play their games? Do they play them like on like YouTube or something?
like where the game's streamed,
Yeah.
that I don't know. I mean, I know the headquarters is in Atlanta. The games are played in Atlanta. I've heard really nice things or good things about like the arena and the campus, and
We should
heard,
go. That'd be fun.
So
They're great people. I love that crew. My guy Sam, who led a lot of the card stuff. I think they have real potential. You look at the market, you look backwards. If those guys are guys and those are the first cards, like people are going to search for them.
yeah, and I think it takes one guy. I mean, this Naasir Cunningham could be that guy. It takes one guy to really put a spotlight on it and then really allow it to grow, right? If this kid is amazing, right, and it really puts some eyeballs on Overtime Elite, I think then it's all up from there.
Yeah, like I wish I knew more about like youth basketball, so I knew who these kids were, because I think that would give me a more educated perspective. I just don't know who they are, so it's hard for me to say if it's viable or not.
All right, guys, so we are back. I had to take a little pause there, but we're going to get right into the Facebook questions. I believe Jay said we have 5 of these this week, so we'll probably do a little rapid fire. But these are going to be from the Facebook group, Card Talk Pod, so make sure you guys check us out on there, especially if you're interested in getting any questions on the show. That is the place to do it. So question number 1 is from Joaquin Lagos. Isn't that Joaquin the Dream? He always comments. I think that's who that is.
Yes.
How do y'all ship more expensive cards? I always get the insurance, but I've heard some bad stories when trying to make a claim. I've actually thought about just flying cards over 10K, but interested to hear your guys' approach. Yeah, thanks, the Dream. So there's a couple things that typically I'll do, especially on bigger transactions. The first thing I've started to do more recently is ship it overnight. Should be the first package out, or first package somebody should get throughout the day is your package. It should not sit in, the less time it spends with FedEx or UPS or the post office or whoever, DHL, whatever it is, the less time there, the better. So I'm all for shipping it as fast as possible. Insurance is great. I can tell you we have like insurance companies, so we're not as big on like some of the FedEx, USPS, UPS insurance ones. Like from my understanding, just from years of shipping FedEx prior to having a shop and getting bigger, FedEx would always tell us they only insured cards and collectibles up to $1,000. At least that's what we were told in store. Don't know how true that may or may not be. I like the idea of flying to ship cards. Everybody's got their own price point. Some people it's $5,000, some people it's $50,000. That's different. But typically where I start is getting it there as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think that's right. Like, if you're shipping a car, everyone has to come up with a number in their head. I think 10K is the right number to think about starting to fly it. I've used the FedEx/UPS insurance. You can pay extra for that. The problem with that is that it's marked with how much it's insured for, which is a great way to get your stuff stolen. And I've had some experiences with that. So, it's tough. I would definitely recommend collectibles insurance if you have a collection that's valued over that amount. It's worth it in general to have, and then it also helps cover you for insurance of shipments. And I would definitely recommend that.
I like to sell at shows.
That too.
Yeah.
You're not really an online seller. You're more of an in-person seller.
Yeah, I'm not Me, I haven't sold a 10K card on eBay.
Yeah.
I've sold multiple 5-figure cards in person. But yeah.
So next question is from Donald Schaefer. He says, what are some non-sports collectibles that you guys would make a play on? Disney trading cards, starting lineups, or a big boy 4-feet statue? FYI, Ryan, I think those Star Wars boxes would have been a long-term play. Love the show, guys. So we did, for some perspective, Brian and I went down to an antique mall
Fire.
not too long ago and went through and did a vlog about it. There was a big boy statue in the thing. We talked about getting that and putting that outside the shop. Didn't get it too big, but yeah, any non-sports collectibles plays?
I think, I mean, I use Rally a good amount. I actually just sold, I had 5 shares of the Pokemon first edition. I moved those just recently, but my favorite thing on there is first edition Philosopher's Stone Harry Potter book. It's like 120, maybe 130 grand. A lot of money. But when I look around, I'm like, I don't know. It feels like $1 million thing in 15, 20, 10, whatever years. And like, I'm like, man, if I could get just one of those myself, I think that would be sweet. But all things Harry Potter, I believe, has a super long runway. I would also say non-sports collectibles. Yeah, I'm starting to dabble in some art. Like my favorite artists, just like actual like physical art pieces. I like some of the Star Wars cards. Tickets obviously is happening a good amount. It seemingly is. Where I was going is I've got zero. I've got zero for tickets because when I think about the reason I collect for memory's sake, remembering moments, remembering times, remembering like my interests, and I collect my own tickets when I go to events, even down to printed ticket masters. But I don't. Tickets aren't for me. I don't because I feel like I'm buying someone else's memory. I'm like,
that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
I think. Go
ahead, Lou. You're up.
I was gonna say, I think something I've been thinking about in my head, and I haven't really gotten into it yet. I don't really have the time or the brain power for this, but I'm just gonna throw it out there into the world, and maybe that'll make me get into it more. I think in general, physical, old school things you hold in your hands are going to be more and more valuable as time goes on. The first edition philosophers, something that comes to mind there, like any kind of old books, I think are very, very interesting. I just think as the world, this is a very basic take, but as the world becomes more and more digital, things from our childhood, my age, in like the 20 to 35 year old person range is the type of physical collectibles I'm thinking about, just in a world of those are the people who are going to be the fastest to adopt the digital while also still having nostalgia for the physical as well.
Yeah, because we had cassettes and DVDs.
Exactly right. Yeah.
VHS. I mean, newspapers, tickets. We had all that stuff, but we're also going to be ready to go for the digital age.
Yep.
I mean, one of the things I've picked up over the years, again, to teams I like or events I was at, was like newspapers. Like I've got framed newspapers of like Patriots Super Bowls, the Cavs coming back to beat the Warriors 3-1. Giannis' first title. I got one of those. Bengals AFC championships. I don't have those. Ohio State national titles, things like that. So those are cool. Again, just I don't collect tickets from like games I haven't been to. That's not something I'm into as much. So tickets from like games I've been to are cool. Like when I saw when I saw the Warriors win their first title in Cleveland, I was there for that. I have those tickets. Like that's cool. A lot of Ohio State games, Ohio State, Michigan, stuff like that. So yeah, tickets, newspapers, things like that are intriguing. Non-sports stuff, like I would say also, I would love to be able to get some Harry Potter cards in the future. I've been open about that on the show before. But yeah.
You know what else I love? I like the giveaways from the big games. Like I have every towel I've gotten at Astros playoff games. I have all of those. And I have the one from the World Series when I went in 2017 that I still use like every single day. Like I have it. And I have one that I've kept off to the side. And I think that's something I'm going to like really cherish when I'm older, is like the 2017 like Astros stuff. So those type of things are interesting as well.
Cool.
If the Jets get in a big game once in their lives, that'd be great too. I'd love to have something from them.
Courtney said I could see myself buying a ticket to an event that I went to, but didn't save that ticket.
100%.
Yeah, sure.
I could see that too.
If you weren't there, that's weird.
Yeah.
So Eric Eckstein asks, what product, topic, show, etc. would you like to see Zero Cool use as an upcoming product release?
I think it's funny. Where my head immediately went to old Nickelodeon show characters. Like if there was like a rocket power set.
Oh, that'd be gas.
Right? I think that would be like
I think the backyard baseball is the one for them.
Yeah, and I put up that card. The amount of responses I got on that was probably the most interest I've received back from like an Instagram story about cards was the Pablo Sanchez card. And like an auto rocket, would be a fire card.
Fire. The problem is it's just not tied to shout out player of the week.
Exactly. It's not tied to much. Like, it would be fun, and there's like
there's just
like
no real
promotes
humans.
it, and exactly. Because like with the Jackass, it's tied to the movie, and like what's the reasoning why it would come out? But if you just had a straight Nickelodeon set, Cat Dog, SpongeBob, Patrick, like all of them were just smashed into one Nickelodeon IP, that I think would be fire.
I'd be all in on that. I think something to that, or like honestly, like there's a bunch of different angles to go with it. But yeah, I think something like maybe like reality TV set would be interesting. Like shout out to all my people who watch Housewives. Like a Housewives set would be gas.
Housewives set would go crazy. For real.
It really, I think it actually would go crazy.
Well, your thing was for a while like Real World Road Rules, like the challenge.
Yeah.
Like
a Real World set, I would buy everything. I'd buy an unlimited number of boxes. I'd buy the whole print run.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Selfishly, a big fan of the Peaky Blinders TV show.
Peaky Blinders is another good one.
Love that show. Would love to see some cards on that. So that's cool. I think, especially because you've seen it recently in cards with, Bieber or Jay-Z, more specifically because they have more cards. But I would like to see like, musicians, rappers, like some sort of set there, whether it's Topps Chrome, like, musicians like Drake, Taylor Swift, Bieber, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Kid Cudi, like just going down the list of like what those would sell for. I think that kind of stuff, like music cards.
A dope partnership would be like if they could revive the XXL freshman list into a card set every year. That would be huge, I think.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
It feels like what needs to happen.
That actually seems like really obvious. Josh,
Luke, can we just clip this section and send it to Uber? We got you, bro. We got you.
All right. Cooper Pama says PSA reopening news has really died down. It used to be a new grading price open every few months, but now we're stalled at $50 with pretty solid turnarounds. What do you think you'll see? Not for a while. PSA, again, there are still orders from PSA that are a while ago, a year old. So I just don't think they're going to open up those $15 to $20 cards before that stuff gets caught up. Just doesn't seem like the move. I would imagine when we had Nat on here before, Nat mentioned what end of the year is what they were shooting for.
Yep. Yeah, I don't foresee a world where they're back in the $10 to $20 range anytime soon. There's just a lot of extenuating circumstances. They still have the backlog. Cost of doing business is certainly up, I'm sure, for them. And there's still I'm positive people can say whatever they want. I'm sure their input volume, like the amount of cards going into them, hasn't gone down in any significant manner to where they would feel the need to lower the price to get more business.
Yeah, the backlog at one point, when we talked to Nat, it was astronomical. You can only grade so many cards per day. It just, especially as you're not getting 0 cards in every day now, it's got to be a lot. But Luke Horton says, if you could only pick one, what would you say is your favorite aspect of the card hobby? The community. The people.
Yeah, for all it is and all it isn't, like the conversations are the most fun part. I don't really have a lot of people in my regular life to talk to about cards, so having a group of people to talk to is fun. The downside of that is I think the hobby is very hive-minded, and prevailing sentiment becomes what everyone says for a couple weeks at a time, and that changes over very, very fast, which is not great, but that would still be what I would choose as well.
Yeah, the people, friends, relationships. I've made a lot of them, including people on this show. But no, I've made a lot of friends and going to events and just like trading culture is fun. Talking about potential rocket power sets of cards. I just love it. It's cool.
Agreed.
Play of the week.
Play of the week.
And we're moving fast this week because people got places to be.
People had to leave and get off.
Got big business.
No, I was being honest. Like, you have places to go.
Yeah.
Big business.
Jay says play of the week's coming in hot on slide 1. So is this like an all-time take at a Jet?
As soon as we can get it up. Yep. Okay. Think
All right.
F1.
Think everyone says, "Hey, hope you're well. I'm a collector from South Africa. Been watching content for a while now, and I thought I would give this a shot. I bought the Max Raw last year, had to send it to a third-party grader to help slab it, and got a PSA 7. With shipping and grading fees, my cost was just under about $2,000. I sold it, as you can see, on auction and got paid out $12,235. So in all, made just over $10,000 profit. Super happy. So it's a first-year Max Verstappen orange refractor. It's the true rookie, card number 6 from first year Topps Chrome. It was a PSA 7 sold at bids on Probstein for $13,299.
I know Think F1. They have an incredible F1 collection. I've seen them post a lot of stuff over the last year or so. Big fan. Love this play. That's something to think about. I want people to look at that and see it like from a pricing perspective of this was a $1,500 raw card last summer, which by the way, last summer it was already starting to get heated up. If they would have bought this in May of 2021, it would have been probably a lot less. The F1 growth, it just boggles my mind to this day.
Yeah, first year orange of the future of the sport seems like a big card. But I mean, a 7, like some people are going to say, wow, a 7 sold for that much. This was common in that set. These were super, like a lot of those cards came out of the packs just smoked.
Crushed.
Yeah.
Because were they sticky or what?
I don't remember how it is, but it's okay. Go ahead.
They made these in a different factory than they normally make them in. Well, I don't know the answer. This is the prevailing sentiment. In this set, they built them in a different factory, and in that factory, there's a little thing where they shoot the cards through to put them into the packs. There's like a little thing that they are all hitting, and so all the edges are messed up on the bottom.
Yeah, it's like the top and the bottom.
Yeah, the top and the bottom all have the same issues.
If you flip this over, it's like the top like above his head and the bottom like by his legs. Like right there, like those parts were smoked. There's like indents on the back, like scratches. I mean, a 7 is probably average grade.
Yeah, 7's about what you can expect on a 2020 F1 card.
And Max is the boy. He's fully the boy.
He's a maniac.
He's the boy.
All right, next play, Jay. All right, so this is from R. Cameron 23. It says play of the week. A couple months ago, I saw Michael Bunting was playing on a line with Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner, so I grabbed one of his young guns for $8. And as he kept scoring more in the line, I decided to send it to PSA Economy Service for $50 since none had been graded. After a month, I received it back, and it was the only 10, and it was one of 3 graded.
The only 10?
Sold an auction for $770, netting me a little over $600 profit. That's pretty good.
That's a play.
That's a play.
That's a play.
Great play. There's one at auction right now with 9 days left, and it's at 276 with 33 bids. So there's a lot of. Who is this person? Who's Michael Bunting? I don't know anything about him.
It's a line made of Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
Leafs are good.
No supply. Hockey.
First to market.
Which is crazy. A PSA 9 did $78.
Yeah, the PSA 9 and PSA 10 gap grows significantly
every day. Is so crazy.
Yeah, wild.
Seeing it more and more, huh?
Yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger.
PSA 10 is just everything. Hockey and F1 plays. Yeah, that's true. Good one. Next.
All right, JC2 collects. As a Big Ten basketball or tournament fan, I always believed Poole had great potential at Golden State if he could get minutes behind Curry and Clay.
Pause real quick. Where did Jordan Poole play in college?
Michigan.
Got it.
Great college.
With Clay out, I began grabbing more of his cards during the basketball dip, summer/fall. Found some raw Jordan Poole in a value box at a local show in Tennessee. I'm not from Ohio. Damn. I negotiated a lower price for a handful of cards. I mean, Stop real quick. He threw two.
He acknowledged it.
Threw 2 things in here. 1, he's not from Ohio, and 2, he made offers on a value box play. Shout out to Jay for that.
JC knows what he's doing because he just went higher up the list as a potential winner just off that sentence alone.
Just off
how it works. How it works.
All right, Poole is playing well, so I graded this Hyper Prism with SGC and got a 9.5. Posted on eBay at the end of the season, as he was getting the most improved player hype. Despite 17 watchers, someone won an auction for under $100. I would have been pretty happy for the small profit and cash flow, but thankfully he never paid. I relisted it as a promoted auction and set it to end the day after the third Warriors playoff game. Pool took off on the national stage in those 3 games. Auction ended with 48 watchers and 350 views. It sold for $270 plus shipping. All told, I spent $10 on the card, $25 for grading, and $35 on eBay fees for a profit of about $200. A little longer of a play, but I followed through in the vision while I waited for other pool cards to come back from PSA.
Great work. This is how you have a perspective. This is, you know, that if this guy gets minutes, he will be good, and he is lighting up the NBA right now. It's awesome.
An individual won the auction, didn't pay.
Hate to see that.
You hate to see
it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Imagine buying something that you really wanted and not paying
And
for it.
then not play. I mean, yeah.
Dude, it's like almost
could never be me.
wanting to be somewhere, not going there.
Couldn't be me.
Couldn't be me.
Couldn't be Lou.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah, I mean, heck of a play. Wish he was from Ohio, but heck of a play.
I said in our group chat over the weekend, I said, if you're from Ohio, like this post, and those are the people I don't talk to in our group chat anymore.
All right, next play, Jay. All right, so this is from. Oh, this is cool. This is from Christian. It's Klee Card Collector 58. Submitting for Player of the Week. So about 2-ish weeks ago, a friend of mine hit me up and asked if he knew anyone that wanted to buy the rest of his card collection. He decided he wanted to move on from cards and into game-used equipment. Well, he sent me the photo of his card case jam-packed full of stuff. I said I may have interest and asked for the price. He told me about $300. So I asked what his absolute best price would be if I drove the hour to pick it up at his place. He told me $240 cash. So I drove out the next day and picked up the box. Pretty much bought it blindly, not knowing what was all there. I may have looked at a row or two while driving, but I found some gems, nothing insane, but a bunch of $20 to $70 cards you'll see in some of the pictures below. As of today, I've sold 28 cards for a total of $594 net, and I've still got a little over 2 rows worth of cards left. So some of the cards sold. There's a John Morant rookie lot, the one with, I believe it's Young Dolph, $24.50, sold for 2 of those. He sold a NXT Bailey auto at a 99 for $40. Sold a Recon Fred VanVleet out of 5 for $58. Sold a Triple Threads Brian Hayes rookie auto at a 50 for $100. And a Desmond Bain courtside Red Wave, which is the team all exclusive from Select, sold for $35. Always love a good lot buy.
Me too.
Big fan of buying in bulk, piecing it out, doing the work. That's why I think value boxes are so nice. Is you can get a bulk discount. Those are typically cards somebody doesn't want to do as much of the work on. They're cheaper. That's why I'm big on value boxes. So I like this. This is a good play. And driving to pick it up and getting a discount. Gotta love that. Negotiating that in there.
Putting in the work.
Putting in the work.
Flacco.
From Ohio, which is tough.
Put him in the dirt.
Next one.
The #1 Duke Johnson collector.
Gotta love that.
Gas.
Another F1. It's Hydro Sports Cards on IG. He says, "Hey guys, love the podcast. I've been getting back into collecting after about 30 years. Your content has been so helpful. This past weekend, I attended my first card show since I was a teen. I was inspired by Ryan's dollar box moves and decided to look for some hidden gems in my current obsession, F1. It wasn't before long I found this price at $2 Canadian. It's a couple of 2020 Chrome colored cards, a purple out of $3.99 Lance Stroll, shout out to Lou, big fan of him, and an orange 70th anniversary Pierre Gasly portrait. I don't know the comps offhand, and even asked the seller if they were sure that the cards were at $2. They were. Sold the Stroll that night on eBay for $20, pretty good, 10x. Sold the Gasly
honestly.
Sold the Gasly for $280 on a Facebook group. After shipping, my profit is $265. Thanks for the great content. Keep it coming.
Love it. It's a great job. $265 raw for that card's pretty good, I feel.
I mean, let me see. Hold on. I got to check this now because I mentioned that Stroll card earlier in the show, and he just sold a purple for $20.
You got crushed?
I mean, I sold an HGA 9.5 Lance Stroll Aqua for $20.
Yeah, hate to see it.
I mean, my man got a raw purple for $20, and I sold one for an HGA 9.5 for $15.65 plus shipping.
Respect to everyone involved. I think that may have something more to say about how that card is being held as opposed to the card itself.
I mean, yikes. $20. Sick. Yeah, shout out to Hydro for putting it up for buy it now and getting 20 because I did not get that. So good for him.
Nothing wrong with that.
$280 on a Gasly 70th. not as big in the 70s. I understand there's people that buy them. I'm just the non-numbered short print thing. Like for this, when there's a true orange, you could buy it. I mean, heck of a job to him for making the play. Just personally, I've never been as big a fan of the 70th.
Me too, because it's doubled up and it's kind of confusing with the orange versus a 70. Like sometimes the 70th orange and the regular orange sell for similar prices, and it's like, what? How is that possible?
Yeah. All right, Jay, is that the last one? I think it is.
Yeah, then we have that extra slide.
He said we're going to pick a winner first.
Oh, pick a winner first. Okay. So scroll back through. I think I know the answer for me, but
Luke, before you pick, is your hatred towards Ohio going to affect your decision making in this?
It absolutely is.
At least you're honest. That's what I respect about you. At least you're honest. At least you'll tell us.
We gotta spread it around a little bit. It's too much.
All right. I almost feel like we should start taking off people's usernames, or maybe,
I think so too, because it really poisons it.
Because it really poisons it. Because I think there's one in here that like I would pick. Like this is the one I would pick.
Yeah, I know you would. This is very you. I want to pick the Think F1, to be honest. But
if it didn't have any usernames on this, I think this would get more picks. The fact that this is from Ohio is hurting my man, because I think Lou would pick this.
Does this individual have 2 submissions?
No.
Go back. Go back, Jay.
we have to go back before we can go forward. You know,
Jay, are you there? Are you listening to
he's
me?
having internet issues.
Keep sliding through.
Michael Bunting.
I feel like I saw that Browns person twice, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think you're wrong.
Cool.
All right, I'm going to pick that one because that's the right winner, but we should take away the names going forward. Because I really don't want to pick this.
It's the right
I like
pick.
them. I'm taking the Michael Bunting play.
Lou,
He's giving
which
me
one
a
are you
way
taking?
out.
You want to take the pool? You want to take the F1? Let the users let the audience vote. Lou, pick a third one. Let the audience vote.
So you're picking Cleveland. I'm picking Jordan Poole.
Okay.
Let them pick. Let the people pick.
All right. So we'll put this on IG stories. Well, there'll be 3 options. You guys can pick the winner. So you got Jordan Poole, right? Value boxes, buying in the summer dip, thinking he could be good to get minutes behind Curry and Clay. Graded it, did well, got a little lucky with the not payment, did a sponsored auction, did really well. Then you've got Christian driving to pick up a big deal, negotiating that discount in there for driving and spending the time to do it, bulk, piecing it out in the lot, doing all that. And then you've got Ty's guy making the play on, hey, this guy was playing with Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner, seeing he's got good guys around him. Very similar to the Jordan Poole play. Like, hey, if this guy can get minutes, he could have some potential here. Graded it, first to market, did really, really well. Got a PSA 10, got 770 on that. So you got a Michael Bunting play, you got a Jordan Poole play, and you've got a bulk lot play. So we'll put it on IG. Feel free to vote tomorrow when this goes live. Would love to get your guys' opinion. It's just at Card Talk Pod on IG.
I know we have another slide to do. Can I just... This is a purely football question. This has nothing to do with extenuating circumstances and the like. I'm looking at the Card Collector 2 eBay store right now, and I'm seeing the types of cards that are available there. There's some bangers for the people. If you want to take a look at that, I would say that. But isn't Deshaun like really low price-wise? Taking out the part where he might be suspended and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
You think his stuff is cheap, or is that what
Cheap? Very cheap.
Based on where his circumstances are, I don't know. I agree. If you believe he's going to play this year, and based on his talent alone, and hey,
aren't they the most talented team in the league?
They've been that way for a while, but they don't have OBJ. They don't have Landry. I mean, they got Cooper. They got their backfield's amazing. Their defense is good. I mean, shout out to my man Denzel Ward. Go Bucks. Huge payday.
You're so annoying, bro. Who cares?
I respect it. I so respect it. I so respect it.
Unbelievable. This kid just loves Ohio State.
I
It's
so
so
respect it.
crazy.
Deshaun, I'm not sure.
I understand that it's a very difficult question.
If he
What
comes
is
out,
happening here?
all right, so we got an extra slide. Jay
No,
said-
wait, finish, Ty.
Jay, go back. Don't show this yet. I don't want.
I
Lou to
just
see this.
I don't know what is going on here,
Lou,
but
there we go. Thanks, Jay.
I just don't know if
I understand it's
he can
difficult. I understand
recover.
he'll be playing.
I think just people are like done with it.
Yeah, that might be. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like
You think people like wait, just to be clear, like people are like moved past it, like they're putting it under the rug, or they're like, hey, no, Deshaun Watson's a bad guy, like we don't like him.
I just think mass market isn't going to invest in Deshaun Watson cards no matter what happens.
Yeah, I don't know.
You disagree?
Yeah.
So
Tiger Woods didn't do
now.
amazing things, and Tiger Woods is the most liked athlete in sports from the last 25 years.
Ryan,
I'm not trying
Tiger Woods. I know, but to
I'm
put
not trying
Tiger
to
Woods,
justify anything like that, right?
To put Tiger Woods and Deshaun Watson in the same category of sporting individuals, do you realize Tiger Woods is
facts.
like there's not
The
enough like
GOAT.
there's like Pele, like
GOAT.
there's not even like Peyton Manning you can't sniff Tiger's job. Like there's no
1000%.
athlete that is currently allowed, so like
more. But your argument was that like people are going to say,
well, what
hey,
I was right now, okay,
no
if
thanks.
Deshaun Watson wins 3 Super Bowls in the next 5 years, sure.
If Deshaun Watson comes out in the first game 42-0 and Deshaun Watson throws 5 touchdowns, his shit will skyrocket.
That's just how the world works, Ty. Like
skyrocket.
If they're the best team in the NFL and he's playing and he's balling out, no one's gonna care, right or wrong.
Yeah, I'm not trying to argue ethics. I'm just saying if Deshaun Watson comes out in preseason game number 1 and he dominates for 2 or 3 possessions, you're like, dude, they look scary. Deshaun Watson stuff to the moon at the National.
Sure, 1 game, whatever, fine. But like
I'm not saying I would
buy 4 years from now.
That's a different conversation.
If Deshaun Watson hasn't won a Super Bowl, his cards aren't going to be worth shit.
Yes, you can say that for everybody.
Sure, and if agreed, and if Luka never wins a title, is Luka's stuff worth anything? We could go down that argument about like, hey, some of these prices are high for what they have or have not done. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying if Deshaun Watson comes out early and the Browns play well in a tough AFC conference, his stuff has potential. We'll see.
I don't think you'll see the same bump for him as you would see for others.
We'll see. I'm glad I brought that up, though. That's a very interesting conversation. Last slide.
We'll see. All right, extra slide. So, Jace, this was like a bonus play of the week type thing. All right, this is from Cream City Cards. It says, hey, guys, love the podcast. Been listening for a minute. Just curious on your thoughts on a recent buy. It's a 2022 Super Glow auto of Haley and Hannah Cavender. Recent Fresno State transfers to Miami for their final year of college. Their popular social media following in TikTok, they have about 3 million plus. And their Instagram following, they have over 300,000 each. They were among the first college athletes to sign an NIL deal, signing with Boost Mobile, amongst others. Also signed a next in line deal with WWE and have been called the next Bella Twins. If they can develop the proper skills to compete in WWE, given their current popularity, it's not insane to think they would get a strong push if they make it. I bought the auto for about $100 and then listed on the listed 150. Also, watching one in auction that ends in 2 days, they've been selling on eBay for 90 to 125. Given it's their first auto, I thought the potential was there. Curious on your take.
I love this.
But you love WWE.
It has nothing to do with WWE. It has something to do with the fact that they have 3 million followers on TikTok and they're these twin sisters who are going to be professional athletes and professional famous people for the rest of their lives.
Ty? What does the Miz autos do?
A little different, but he has so many autos now, it's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little different.
Yeah, I mean, I think people underestimate the, hey, this person's famous, what their autos would sell for type thing. I don't think $100 for a dual auto of people that have 3 million followers on TikTok is that crazy in the world we live in now. I don't know anything about it. I mean, I do remember Lou talking about
pause. Let's talk about this. There was one purchase on April 22nd, April 21st for $100. There was one purchase on April 24th for $300.
So just to be clear, that's pre-card talk. The fact that it went from $100 to $300. Why would it go from $100 to $300 in 4 days?
I don't know. I think so. This one was an offer accepted. Like this one had an offer, and then I think someone just binned this other one.
Yeah, but why would it go up 3x in 3 days?
It was. I think the volume is so low. There's just only so many listed, so people just want one. They're going to buy it.
Yeah, Jay said they didn't sell it, so there's no play of the week, but it's an
Of
interesting
course.
topic. Yeah, I mean, what was
There's none on eBay.
What's Gable Stevenson?
Yes.
That's the one guy I remember Lou talking about, like the Minnesota wrestler pre like WWE, like leaving his cleats on the mat, prism cards, things like that. So, I mean, again,
What's Super Glow, bro? Do you know what that is?
It's like a newer product. I think of it like I thought of it in the same category as like Wild Card, like not licensed stuff, but they've got
Like
some
below
cool
leaf.
Yeah, but some of the cards in there are really cool. Like there's a Chris Olave, CJ Stroud duel. There's some cool stuff. I've seen a few of them.
Wow, there is some good stuff in here. Giannis? They have Giannis autos?
Giannis signs a lot.
I guess. Yeah, you're right about that. Okay. This is a great play. I love this. This is really interesting.
Yeah, if they turn into WWE, I think that's,
if they're the Bella Twins, the Bella Twins are huge.
Are they?
I mean, yeah.
I don't know anything about.
Yeah, they're very, very famous.
Very famous. Some of the first athletes to sign NIL. Yeah, cool.
Love it, Cream City.
All right, big release week. Couple things. One, football comes out tomorrow on release day for Card Talk. Revolution basketball comes out, and Bowman University football comes out this week as well. So lots of.
Isn't there another Topps product coming out, an unlicensed basketball product?
Topps Finest Basketball drops on their website exclusively.
Mm-hmm. That's an interesting one. I feel we should talk about that a little bit. Unlicensed Topps basketball that hasn't been around in a long time.
How do you feel about it being exclusive on their site,
Ryan?
Honestly, I didn't know it was coming out until yesterday, until I saw it on Twitter.
I think it was a little bit of a surprise drop. That's kind of why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah, I mean, like, shout out to Fanatics for doing the. They did something like last week with like the Mosaic Fanatics exclusive blasters, where you had to like get in like so similar like what PSA's done. We've got to like be in there for the drop. So basically, you can't use bots to get all of the product. Thought that was kind of cool. So if they did it like that, sweet. If it's something that somebody with a bot can buy 485 boxes and control the market because 5 people with bot access can buy them all. As long as the people that want to rip them can rip them for a non-insane price, I'd be cool with it. I think it'll be cool. Well, looks like the checklist has got some decent names on it.
Vince Carter, like Shaq,
Dirk, Glenn Rice,
Steve Kerr, autos. Like those are.
Yep.
I know they've signed, but that's not nothing.
Yeah. All right.
Topps Baseball 2022 Series 1 NFTs on Thursday.
Yeah, we didn't get to talk about the Wander at all. Came out of a pack in a Walgreens.
Yeah, shout out to that. Shout out to the
pretty nuts. James. Todd, you see that story?
James for the Willy Wonka golden ticket at the Walgreens.
That's fire. I think that's great.
Crazy. Can you imagine? I need to pull something massive.
I've never pulled anything massive, unfortunately.
I want just a massive pull. 11,000 packs, $150 a pack for Topps Series 1 NFTs. Interesting.
All right,
I gotta dig into the Panini blockchain, all that jazz. See you, Ryan. Peace.
Ryan, I love you.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Love it. Peace. Bye.